These next set of exercises can be done in a chair or on a bench, but the whole workout is going to be from a seated position. So what we're going to do first is we're going to start out with some reverse inchworms. What we're going to do is make sure that your chair is in a position up against a wall or somewhere where it's not going to slide. I'm going to put my hands down on the chair's seat. And then what we're going to do is we're going to flatten out our back and we're going to walk our feet out away from us. So we're in this push-up position, body nice and flat, and then tippy toe back in, keeping those knees straight. You should feel the stretch in your hamstrings. So let's do this for 8 repetitions, okay? Ready, and tippy toe your way out. Keep your core engaged and walk back in. Good, keeping the back flat. Feeling the stretch in your hamstrings. When you get out to that push-up position, it should feel like you're holding a plank. Okay, so we're supporting our upper body. Little steps, holding out. Good. It's a controlled movement. We're not pushing away from the chair. We're staying right over the top of it. Our shoulders are staying over our wrists. We're walking out. Core support right there. In and nice and flat. Good. Last one. Tippy toe your way out. Feel our core engage and tippy toe our way back in. Nice work. Okay, now we're going to do just some sit to stand. Okay, so start in a seated position, feet shoulder width apart, and we're going to just stand up and sit back down. Here we go. Let's do this 10 times. Keeping our hands by our side. I want you to initiate the movement with your legs. Push your heels into the ground. When you stand up at the top, squeeze your glutes before you sit back down. Good job. Here's 9. And last one, 10. Good. All right, now we're going to do some chair-supported bridge marches. So we're going to hold onto the chair. We're going to walk our feet away from it. And then we're going to drive our knees forward. Up, actually. So I'm going to turn this way so you can see me a little better. So my hands on the chair. I'm going to take my hips off and march my feet. So we're using upper body strength, triceps, shoulders, drive the knees up, pressing into the ground with that opposite foot. We're holding our hips up. This is good for our pelvic floor muscles. We're doing 10 on each side. Here's 9 and 10. Nice work. Okay, now we're going to take it from the top with those inchworms. Like I said, make sure that your chair isn't going to move, but ideally when we're doing these, we're not pushing away from us. We're keeping our weight right over the top of the chair. So we're more pressing down, okay? But still, for safety purposes, put your chair against something so where it's not going to slide away from you, okay? I'm putting mine into the wall, but ideally it'd be behind. Okay, so our starting position is nice and flat, feeling a stretch in your lower back and your hamstrings in this position. Shoulders are over your wrists, and we're going to tippy toe out into a push-up position and back in, Keeping those legs straight. You should feel your core have to do some work when you get to that extended push-up position. We're taking it nice and slow, little steps in and out, okay? These are modified inchworms. Really good for helping strengthen our lower back and our core, our upper body, and getting a nice stretch in your hamstrings. And walk it in. I'm just taking little small steps. Try to keep those knees straight so we're using our hamstrings. We're doing 8. I have one more right here. This is 8. And back. Good. Come on up. Now get ready for your sit to stand. I'm going to turn sideways so you can see my position. I'm starting with my knees in a 90-degree angle, and I'm sitting all the way on the chair. Start this way so that you don't feel like you're looking for where you're going to sit. You know where you're landing right here, okay? So feet shoulder width apart. And here we go. Let's stand up and sit back down. We're going for 10. We're pushing through our heels and standing up nice and tall. And we make sure we're breathing. Inhale, exhale. Good job. There's 9. Notice I'm not using my arms to help me stand up. I'm just keeping them right by my side because I want my legs to do all the work, okay? All right, our last one, chair supported bridge march. So if this is hard on your wrists, a couple things. Try to keep your wrists straight like this. Don't bend them back because that's what hurts. So hanging them off the side of the chair is a little bit better than being right on top of the chair. If that's still not an option for you, just keep your hips on the chair and lean back so you're not putting pressure on your wrist, and still you can drive the knees up from this position, okay? But ideally, we want to build wrist strength and shoulder and tricep strength too. So we're going to go off and we're going to march. Knees drive up. We're doing 10 on each side. Good. Knee comes straight up. Make sure you're not kicking it out to the side. Our hips are elevated. We're actively lifting them by pressing our foot into the ground while we lift the opposite leg. Here's 9 and 10. And we sit. Good job. Okay, let's do one more time through, okay? I'm gonna roll my wrists out a little bit. It makes my wrists tired too, don't worry. You're not alone. I'm gonna fix my chair. We're doing our modified inchworm. Okay, position your hands on the chair, back flat, legs straight, and walk them out. Push up position and walk back in, knees straight. You should feel your abs turn on when we get out here. Now we walk in, working on our hamstring flexibility. Walk on your tippy toes. And back in. We're doing 8. Knees straight. Feel that stretch in your lower back. We're supporting our upper body. Our shoulders are over our wrists. And one more. Back stays flat. We're just moving those hips out. Nice job. Okay, our sit to stand. Start in a seated position. Feet shoulder width apart. Okay, shoulders nice and tall. Remember, our heels stay on the ground when we squat. And so when you practice these sit to stands, I want you to keep your heels on the ground, okay? Don't pop up to your toes. Keep your whole foot on the ground. Ready, and let's go for 10. We're sitting down with control. Sit nice and soft, like you don't want to make any noise, like you're sitting on eggshells and you don't want to crack them. We want to control the motion. This time you notice I have my hands and I'm using them for momentum and balance. Just a little different variation than the time before. There's 8 and 9, 10. Good. So your legs in your quads should feel a little bit of a burn. Okay, now our last time through with our glute bridge with the chair support. So here we go. Coming off the chair, hips are lifted, and drive the knees up. We're actively pushing into the ground, keeping those hips up. Remember, option to stay seated, lean back, and do this with your legs. Keep the marching with the legs. If it's bothering your wrist, then you can do it seated. Here we go. Here's 8 and 9. And last ones. Nice. For these next set of exercises, I folded up my yoga mat several layers on top of itself so that it provides a really nice squishy landing pad, because we're going to be kneeling down. So if you have something soft like a pillow or a foam pad or just your yoga mat to double up and make it so it's comfortable to kneel on, that would be a great thing to do. We're going to do kneeling to stand with both knees to start. So what we're going to do is I'm going to stand with my hands on the chair, and I'm going to be in like a tabletop position. What I'm going to do is I'm kind of going to come up to my toes, and then I'm going to kneel down both knees, and then I'm here. And then I'm going to stand back up by pressing with my upper body and shifting my weight back into my legs. Okay, so we're going to go up and down into that position for 10 repetitions. So starting position, we're tabletop, and then here we go. We're going to lean onto your toes, let the knees drop, and then push those hips back up. Here we go. Drop your knees, push with the arms to help you lift back up. Both knees are landing at the same time. We're letting the hips sink, coming up to our toes. We're coming down and pushing up. So kneel to stand. This is going to be really beneficial, helping you get up and down off the ground, building strength in our quads and our triceps and biceps. You should feel this in your arms a little bit. Getting some ankle flexibility here. Last 2. And last 1. kneel, stand. Good. Now we're going to do it from a half kneeling position. So we're still going to use this chair. We're going to go 1 foot down, 1 foot up. You can put the chair on either side of you, whatever feels comfortable. You can use this to help you get into this position. Okay? We're going to just come up to stand, and then you can use the chair to guide yourself back down. Okay, so let's go 1 foot in front at a 90-degree angle. The other back foot, you're using your toes tucked like this. Okay, so your toes are on the ground. They're going to help push back up. You're pushing evenly with both legs, okay? Try not to put all the load onto the front leg. Use the back leg too. Okay, so here we go. We're going to stand up from this position. Ready, and up and back down. We're going to do this 10 times. Remember, use the chair to support you, to help you get up. Up, abs are tight, okay? Nice and tall. With those shoulders, it's okay if you lean forward a little. Sometimes it helps to lean forward as you stand up. Just use those legs, okay? Use your legs to make you stand. Here's 9 and 10. Good. Now I'm going to switch sides. I'm going to come on this side, different angle for you. So now this leg is going in front. All right, ready, and we're standing up and back down. Up to down. We're controlling it, going straight up and down, using that chair to help support us so we don't lose our balance. Maybe to take the pressure off of our legs as we lower slowly. But you're pushing with both legs, right? The front and the back. Here's 9 and 10. Good job. Now you're going to grab your dumbbells. We're going to sit in the chair. And what we're going to do is we're going to sit forward a bit. And then you're going to do a bicep curl, press it out, and then come back down. So sit nice and tall. Sit towards the edge of the chair so that you have room for your dumbbells. We're going to do this 8 times, okay? So here we go. Sitting tall, feet are planted on the ground. We're going to curl, punch, in, down. Curl it, punch it, bring it in, let it go. Here we go. That's 3. Nice and tight with the abs, so our upper body's not moving around. Good. Make sure we're breathing. Punch, in, down. Good. In, down. Almost there. Good. And last one. In, down. Excellent. Set those down. Now we'll go through another round of that kneel with both knees to a standing position. I'm going to move my mat. Okay, starting in this tabletop position. And we're going to pop to our toes and lower the knees and come back up, okay? That needs to move a little bit. Pop to the toes, knees, use your upper body to stand back up. And hips shift back, forward, knees come down, stand up. Both knees at the same time. Make sure we're controlling it. Use your upper body to help you control your descent, okay? So we don't come crashing down onto our knees. We're controlling this motion. This is getting up and down off the ground safely. 2 more. Down. Press those hips up and back. And last one. Press. Good. Now get ready to do one leg at a time. So find your spot. Make sure that chair is there to support you. Knees are at 90-degree angles. Okay, we're nice and tall. Ready, and up and back down. Use that chair to help you. All the way down to the ground, okay? I want your knee to connect with that pad and then come back up. Okay, use the chair. Whoa, see, if you lose your balance, that's what that chair is for. Pushing up and lower down. Up and down. Keep your heel on the ground on that front foot. Here's 9 and 10. Good. Switch sides. I'm going to start in a lowered position to help me get set up. Tuck the back toe. Nice and tall. And here we go. 10 more. Up and back down. Nice and controlled. Pushing through your heel on that front foot. Up and down. Up and down. Evenly distributing our weight, okay? Both legs are working here. You should be feeling your quads and your glutes and your hamstrings right now. Good job. Here's 9 and 10. Way to go. You're going to be a pro at getting up and down off the floor. Now we're going to grab our dumbbells. Seated position. We're on the front of the chair, feet shoulder width apart. We're nice and tall, hands by our sides. And let's go bicep curl, punch it straight forward, and come out of it, okay? So curl it, press it, bring it in, let it go. Curl it, press it, bring it in, let it go. Good job. Abs on tight. We're not letting our back arch. We're staying tall. Good job. And we're breathing. Good. Reach in, let it go. Curl it, press it, and let it go. This is building shoulder strength. And we're sitting nice and tall, using our abs to support us. Last one right here. And down. Okay, nice work. We're going to do that one more time. Starting with our kneeling position, right? So we're going both knees. So here we go, tabletop to start. And drop both knees and stand back up. Control it. Use the upper body. Pull your belly button to your spine to lift your hips and hold your abs in tight. Down and back up. Rocking through our toes, right? So we're going to our toes. So we come down into this position. Good, here's 8. Both knees hitting the mat at the same time because we're controlling it. Okay, last one right here. And push. Nice work. Now we do one leg at a time. Get my mat set up first so I know where I'm starting from. Move my chair into a position that I know it can help me. And here we go. Press up and back down through both of our legs. Doing the work, right? Staying tall. Using all of our leg muscles right here. Lowering all the way to the mat. Good. This hand can be on your hip or out to the side for extra balance. There's 9 and 10. Nice. Now we'll switch sides. Change the angle for you. Get my knee set up. Starting in a down position helps get our legs in a good position that feels comfortable. All right, ready? And let's go for 10 more. Using our whole foot, right? You're pushing through your heel on that front foot, but we're also keeping our toes on the ground, okay? Breathe. Stay tall. Good. 2 more. Quads are burning. Nice work. Let's get set up for those bicep curls. Last time. So sitting down, nice and tall. Remember, we're a little bit forward on the seat, so we have room for our weights to hang by our side. And we're gonna curl, press, bring it in, let it go. Here we go. We're doing 10. We're staying tall. I'm not leaning back. I'm keeping my core nice and tight so that my upper body doesn't try to like arch back as I push the weights away from me. I want my shoulders doing the work, okay? So we have biceps, deltoids, biceps, triceps, okay? We're getting lots of muscles in this movement. Reach. Almost there. Here we go. In last 2. There's 1. We're controlling it even though we're tired. And 2. Woo! Shake it out. All right, time to do some exercises from the floor. We're going to do some leg lifts. I'm going to use these dumbbells as guides to where my legs are going to go. So what we're going to do is I'm going to kind of angle my body this way. We're going to sit nice and tall with our legs straight out in front of us. Hands by your glutes is totally fine, or lean back just a little bit. Because what we're going to be doing is we're going to just lift our leg up and over this weight, okay? I'm just using it as a guide of something to lift up and over, okay? So we're going to sit as tall as possible to do this movement, okay? Your legs are going to stay straight, and we're trying to use our quads. You should feel your quads and your hip flexors in this, okay? So starting point, we're just right next to that weight, and our legs are straight out in front of us. We're going to lift up, tap the ground, and come back. Okay, let's do that 8 times. So here we go. Up and tap. Up, tap. Stay tall. You should feel your quad. Tap and come back. Staying tall as possible. I can feel once I get a little tired, I start to like slouch, but we don't want to slouch. 7 and 8. Woo. Now I'm going to go do the other side. So rotate just a little bit and stay nice and tall. And here we go. Open, close. 8 times. Staying tall. Legs straight. And here's 5, 6, 7, and 8. Woo, good. Quads burning, right? We're working our hip muscles on that one. All right, now I'm going to use a chair for this next exercise for our hamstrings. If a chair is not an option for you, you can do this from the floor. We're doing glute bridges like we've done before, but this time we're going to do with our heels elevated. So I'm going to put my feet up on a chair, hip distance apart, and toes pointed straight to the sky. Now I'm going to keep a bend in my knees as I lay onto the ground. And now I'm pushing my heels down into the chair and lifting my hips. Okay? So we're pushing into the chair. Let's do this 10 times. Ready? And go. So you should feel your hamstrings working big time right here. We're controlling the movement. We're not just coming down to the ground super fast. It's slow and controlled. Toes point to the sky. Make sure they're not pointing out to the side. There's 8, 9, and 10. Nice work. Feet to the ground. And we're going to get ready for some push-ups. So we're going to go, I'm going from my knees, flatten out our body, hands underneath your shoulders, and we're going to do 10 push-ups, okay? I want you to focus on keeping your hips nice and flat. Don't let your butt go up in the air and push up here. Hips flat, and we're lowering our chest to the ground as close as possible. Okay, this is going to look different for everybody, but we're going to just, here we go, lower and press away. Let's do 10. Body stays tight. We're inhale, exhale. Hold your abs in tight. There's 9 and 10. Good work. Now we're going to go into a side plank to do some hip dips to work our obliques. So in our side plank position, we are doing elbow underneath our shoulder, and then we're going to bend the bottom knee. You can bend both knees if you like, but I like to go bottom knee bent, top leg straight. And then I'm going to put my other hand on my hip. My body is turned completely sideways, okay? I'm not leaning with my chest up or chest down. Okay, so we're completely on our side right here. And then we're going to use this bottom knee, press it into the ground, lift our hip and lower, and then lift. Okay, so let's do 8 of them on each side. Okay, so ready, and press, lower, press, lower. Good. 3. Pushing that bottom knee into the mat. Hips go to the sky. We're staying sideways. Good. Feeling this in our obliques and our glutes on that bottom leg. Here's 8. And now I'm going to switch sides. So turn our bodies, tuck the bottom leg, elbow underneath your shoulder, top leg straight. Our body is completely on its side. And here we go, press and lower. Okay, pressing into the ground with that bottom knee. Good. Feeling your obliques and our glutes. Don't let that elbow come out from underneath your shoulder, okay? Keep it right there. That helps with our shoulder stability. 7 and 8. Okay, nice work. Now, one more time with our leg lifts over the dumbbells. Now, I'm going to do it a little bit differently. I'm going to do both legs at the same time. So I'll move my weights to make them a little bit more, a bigger jump. I'm going to lean back just slightly. And then we're going to lift both legs and bring them over and lift them back. Okay, so on this one, it's okay if you lean back a little bit. So have your hands positioned slightly behind your hips. And we're just trying to focus on keeping our legs straight and our toes pointed to the sky. Okay, so here we go. Lift and put it down. Lift, lift, lift. Good, good. Here we go. Toes up and we're lifting. Good. You're feeling your abs here. Might be feeling your quads and your hip flexors. That's okay. Here's 8 and 9. Last one. Good. Sometimes you feel it in your triceps a little bit too, and that's okay. All right, let's do our hamstrings. So use your chair, feet up. Scoot in so that your knees are almost to 90-degree angles. Lie flat on your back. Feet are in line with your hips and your toes are pointed to the sky. And we're going to do 10 bridges right here. Okay, ready and go. Pressing your heels into the chair to lift your hips. Toes point to the sky the whole time. Inhale, exhale. These are for your hamstrings. Good job. Last 2 right here. Here's 1 and 2. Step your feet off the chair before you try to sit up. Good job. All right, we're going to do our push-ups now. So get yourself into a plank position with your body, hands underneath your shoulders. And let's do 10 push-ups, okay? Hold your abs nice and tight right here and go. We're going as low as you feel comfortable with. Ideally, we want to get our bodies within a couple inches of the ground. Hold your abs tight, squeeze your glutes. Your elbows should be going back at a 45-degree angle from your body. Good job, last 2. And 2. Good. And now we'll do our last set of our side plank hip dips. So onto your side, elbow underneath your shoulder. Bend the bottom knee. Top leg is straight. Now remember here, we want to keep this elbow position because if you let your arm go way out here like this, it's bad for your shoulder, okay? So stay over the top so you have a really good shoulder position. All right, ready? And lift and lower. Tap the sky, tap the ground. We're doing 10 this time. Good. Reach, tap. Feel those obliques. Keep your body sideways. Press through that bottom knee. Here's 9 and 10. And we're going to switch sides. Elbow, set it up underneath your shoulder first, and then your arm stays in a 90-degree angle. Bottom knee bent, top leg straight. Hands on our hips so we're nice and sideways. And we're going to press and come down. 10 more. Good job. Feeling those obliques. Notice I'm keeping my head sideways so that my cervical spine doesn't get all kinked. Neutral spine position. Push. Feel your obliques. Squeeze. And last 2 right here. 9 and 10. All right, great job on that floor work.